Every century has its defining tragedy. A point in time when history takes a hard turn and never looks back. The 400s had the fall of Rome, a moment that set all of human progress back by hundreds of years. The 1900s had World War II, a war that forever shifted the balance of power and ushered in the nuclear age. Our century, of course, has its own defining tragedy, the end of Smiling Friends.
Sorry.
The end of Smiling Friends comes as a shock to everyone. I'm sure no doubt in part because they announced it at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday for some reason. Smiling Friends seemed like it was going to be the defining series of a generation. It seemed like it was going to be one of those immortal shows, another Simpsons, another Rick and Morty. And yet at the height of popularity, when the world needed them the most, Smiling Friends vanished. Smiling Friends is a show that means a lot to me. I know it might seem weird to say about the random, quirky, funny show, but I watched season 1 with my dad. I didn't think he was going to like it. It didn't seem like his type of show. But to my surprise, he really enjoyed it. We watched the whole season together. We were laughing the entire time. That was one of the last memories I have with my dad. He died of pancreatic cancer less than a year later. By the time season 2 came out, it almost hurt to watch it. I would just imagine what my dad might say to every scene. But eventually, the show actually helped me feel better about my dad. It helped me laugh and smile when I didn't even want to get out of bed. And I realized I was just another customer to the Smiling Friends in a way. They were helping me smile when I needed it the most. But now I have to say goodbye to them too. Goodbye, Pim. Goodbye, Charlie. Thank you for helping me when I was feeling a little down. Now, is that story true? No, I completely made it up. I don't even know who this guy is. But it might as well be true. Smiling Friends is a show that means a lot to a lot of different people. So much so that people are in denial that it's actually over. People have started jumping to the idea that this is all some sort of elaborate April Fool's bit planned months in advance. And this would line up with a lot of their previous actions messing with their audience with things like the Brazil episode or the Cool Autistic Gamer 774.
What did you say?
But to be honest, the conspiracy angle isn't looking too likely right now. For one, they say it's not a joke less than 10 seconds into the video.
We should probably get into the real meat and potatoes of why we're here, which is, and I'm going to cut right to the chase, this is not a bit, this is not a joke. Michael and I are here to announce that Smiling Friends will be ending after Season 3 is done.
Now it'd be hypocritical for me to not at least acknowledge the possibility that they're lying. After all, I just lied less than a minute ago. But to me, the best defense against this being some sort of long-term elaborate comedy bit is just that it's not really funny. Oh, we made you think Smiling Friends was gonna end, but then it didn't. Isn't that hilarious, guys? It's just not a joke. What would the punchline even be? The question on everyone's minds right now is why? Especially after already announcing season 4 and 5, it just feels so sudden. Well, I think I can answer why with a few simple reasons. Now, you might be wondering,
Squid-Boy, who are you to speculate on why Smiling Friends ended? You're not involved at all.
And I'll have you know, I've watched the Oni Plays Best of Zach compilation. We might as well be best friends at this point.
'Cause you and me, we're like brothers, only closer.
Zach and Michael are involved in every single aspect of Smiling Friends. They work as the showrunners, they work as the directors, they work as the producers, they work as the voice actors, they work as writers, they work as the storyboard artists, they do everything. And more importantly, they do everything every episode. This is not common in TV. Most shows will have large writing and directing staffs that share the load. Smiling Friends, on the other hand, needs Zach and Michael to be working on every level to feel the same. The good thing about this system is that it means every episode will have a consistent feel and quality. The bad thing about the system is it's incredibly susceptible to burnout. Zack and Michael essentially have to do the jobs of 10 different people. And they don't have anyone to pick up the slack if they're just not feeling up to the task right now. Because trying to make Smiling Friends with different writers and directors is like trying to get a body to function without bones. It's sad to say and it's sad to hear, but if someone's burnt out from working on something, maybe it's better to just end it there. If you need a case study into what happens when creators force themselves to continue working on something well past the point they actually care, just look at Stranger Things Season 5. The honest truth is you just can't fake caring. And after years of working on something, it's understandable that they would want to move on. It's really a rock and a hard place situation, because Smiling Friends can't continue without Zack and Michael working as writers and directors. It wouldn't be the same. But forcing Zack and Michael to continue working on the show while being completely burnt out of it and wanting it to be over will also not get you the same results. Which brings me to my second reason. During the announcement, Zack and Michael made a point of addressing that they want to continue working with each other on future projects. And I think this is the number one reason Smiling Friends is ending right now. They still want to work together making things, but they just don't want to keep making Smiling Friends. And to me, this is the silver lining for those who might be depressed about the news of Smiling Friends. I feel like Smiling Friends might have been a restrictive setting. There's only so many times you can create a silly little guy, call him Scrimble Joe, and have him annoy Charlie by trying to get him to invest in cryptocurrency. Smiling Friends always seemed like it had a hard time expanding past Pim and Charlie. The extended cast mostly just existed to tell jokes. Episodes centering around Pim and Charlie usually had them going on a character arc and confronting their flaws. But episodes centering the other characters didn't seem like they were about anything other than trying to stuff in as many jokes as they possibly could. And even beyond this issue, a lot of the episodes felt like they were basically about the same thing. Pim and Charlie have to help someone, but they're just so wacky. They're so silly. What? This is insane.
How zany and quirky and random this is.
Now, I don't think this episode format ever really got that old. It only happens a few times and they usually add another element to spice it up. But I don't think we would have been able to get to Season 5 without it getting old. I think Zack and Michael were probably starting to really feel the limitations of Smiling Friends. It seems to me like they want to work on something else. They want to make something they couldn't have made in Smiling Friends. And maybe what they make now might avoid the few mistakes they made when they created Smiling Friends. So for me, Smiling Friends ending is honestly bittersweet. It's sad that it's over, but what we get next might be better than Smiling Friends Season 4. Here's the thing. As someone who's made 40+ minute YouTube videos, I completely understand how it feels to make something. To make something that you're really proud of. Something that you love, and something that gives you pride and accomplishment. But also, you never want to spend another fucking goddamn second working on it again. Moving on is the hardest step in the artistic process, but it might just be the most important. They left the door open for Smiling Friends to continue in the future. I really hope it does. But more than that, I hope what we get next is even better. Hey, if you like this video, I'd recommend checking out this other video I did about Minecraft ARGs. I was very unsubtly glazing it earlier, and I really hope it worked on you.